Hey folks, I hope you're doing well. Well, what an interesting day we are living in. Last Tuesday I was wrestling through whether or not we should continue to take communion the way that we do on Sundays. And by the end of the week, we were canceling all of our services and working towards streaming our service, which was very successful. Thank you, those that tuned in. It looks like for the foreseeable future, that's going to be what we're going to have to do. This is a very fluid situation, and things are changing daily, if not hourly. The CDC's come out with new guidelines, and then the White House came out yesterday with its suggestions on the best ways for us to continue to engage one another while working really hard at doing our part to eliminate the coronavirus. The truth of the matter is, and I know many of us are not fearful of the coronavirus, and for most people, it's not something that's going to be deadly. But there is a portion of the population that is at risk, and the fact of the matter is they have now proven that you can carry this virus without having any symptoms. I heard one person call in to talk radio this morning and said, yesterday my children and I had to say goodbye to my mother for the next 6 weeks because she's receiving chemo treatments, and she's at a high risk and in a susceptible place of contracting something like this. So whether we fear it or not, the reality is it is affecting people's lives and disrupting our norm. But I think there's also great opportunity in this. As the Church of Jesus Christ, I think there's opportunity for us to really practice what we believe, to grow spiritually in this. I mean, heck, we've always said we wanted more time to read the Bible and do devotions, right? And that's kind of being forced on us. So we are afforded that time to spend time with family and to press into the foundations of our faith. And I think we're going to learn some amazing things that help us get to the other side of this. And folks, we are going to get to the other side of this. But getting there means that we need to do our part. We are going to be erring on the side of following the CDC recommendations and local and government officials as well. For that reason, we are going to end all official meetings at Pathway and life groups for this semester, and any other meetings that were calendarized for the foreseeable future, until we get to that place where they begin to say all clear and that we can re-engage in some of the social activities that we've grown to love. That being said, as much as technology has perhaps contributed to the hysteria of this thing, technology is also a wonderful tool that's going to help us stay connected as best we can through this season. And so we're going to actually begin to prepare as if this thing is going to play out longer than we hope it does. And for that reason, we're going to begin to prepare doing our next semester of life groups virtually. And people lead groups, people facilitate the groups. Some of you will be very good at getting the groups online, and then perhaps someone else will lead once online. We're going to be communicating all of that. But I just want you to know, we're again making decisions solely based upon what we think is doing our part in being good citizens, good neighbors. The greatest command is what? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, strength, and to love your neighbor. And we think by being precautious, we are loving our neighbor. If you have any needs through this season, make sure you're emailing us, calling us. We want to make sure that nobody is going without the basic necessities of life. So if you have needs, please let us know. I felt like I personally got a word from the Lord this morning. And I felt like the Lord said to me, Alan, you need to pastor more like Mr. Rogers than you do Rambo through this situation. Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, was a wonderful man who did what? He took the steam out of everything. He diffused situations, and he was gentle and kind and compassionate. You contrast that with Rambo, that just kind of grabbed the biggest gun he could find and blazed his way through whatever the situation was. I don't think that's going to win the day. And I think if we respond to this in a loving way, in a way in which we prefer other people over ourselves, we'll be a better church because of it on the other side of this. Some changes that we're going to make just to help keep us connected coming up this week is we're going to add a children's component to our streaming service on Sunday morning at 9:45. Miss Michelle is going to engage our kids for about 12 minutes with a devotional, and she's already excited about what it is that she's going to do with the children this week. And then we'll have a 3-minute break in which at 10 o'clock I will come on and we'll continue our series looking at our culture. This week is actually on healing and recovery, and we'll unpack that. You know, as we face this, I encourage you to stay connected with the people that you've been doing life with, FaceTime, Skype, call, however you can be in contact with the people in your social circle, I think is incredibly important. You know, for now, if you can continue to tithe and give to Pathway, I'd say do so. We want to continue on mission through this. I know some of you may have employment and businesses interrupted, and maybe, you know, it'll get to a point where that's not possible. But if it is possible and you want to do that, you can use PushPay. If you're unfamiliar with how to use that, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you just go to pushpay.com, you can give us a call. We could walk you through that. If you mail in your giving, we do not receive it physically in a mailbox. You have to send it to our P.O. box at the post office. That's P.O. Box 1610. We'll include that in the email as well. Folks, we're living in a time and a day that we did not expect, but it's a time and day that did not catch God off guard. And he trusted us as the Church of Jesus Christ to help lead people through this, and we're going to do just that. Please reach out to us, contact us, email me, call the office. It will go to voicemail if it picks up. But we want to hear from you, and we want to know how we can best serve you and help you through this time. I hope this has helped. Stay the course, guys. Stay in love with Jesus. Keep loving your neighbor. We'll get to the other side of this and return to some of the things that we love and find out that we learned a lot of things that we're going to add to how we minister as we go forward. God bless you guys. We'll see you on the journey.